Good afternoon. Thank you for joining Mind Your Business Business Bites. I want you to go out, grab your bites, grab your lunch, come back, tune in. You don't want to miss this. Share this video with a friend. We are so excited. We are going to talk about all things media today. Branding is so important for your business. And so I have a branding guru here that does photography, videography, podcasts. He is the real deal, and you don't want to miss this. So take a minute, pause, go grab your stuff, come back. We are live today. Remember, you can ask questions. We will answer your questions as we go through, but we want you to get all that you can out of this session today. I am asked as a business coach, I am constantly asked about why do I need to go get headshots? Why is that important? What does it matter? Why do I have to do videos? Why is it matter? Content matters. Why? And today we're going to find out. So I want you to make sure that you are engaged, that you are ready with your questions so we can answer your questions over the next 30 minutes just to chat and chew with you around why your media is so important. So, without further ado, let me bring to this platform Doug McConnell. Welcome, Doug. Thank you for joining with us tonight. We're so excited that you're here. And so I'm just excited to introduce you. I tell you guys all the time, I'm never going to bring anybody here that I don't work with, would not work with, that I don't know personally. And one thing I know is that Doug has helped me on various occasions with some of the training that I do for my aspiring entrepreneurs. And so he had to come on and share his knowledge with you because what he does in his business is phenomenal. And you're going to really want to take notes and understand what he does. So, welcome, Doug. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for inviting me on, Holly. I appreciate it. I've never been hyped up so much before. That was awesome. Thank you.
Yes, of course. I'll be your hype man when you go out and do
Yeah,
all of your speeches.
that was awesome. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to help out.
Absolutely. Well, we're delighted to have you. And so we typically have about 20 minutes, right, with the audience. And so we want to keep it interactive and just kind of talk through this. And I do have some questions, but please feel free to add, jump in, let me know what you think we need to cover as well. So
Yeah.
I know one of the biggest issues that I find working with small businesses is really their, I don't want to say understanding. Well, maybe
Mhm.
it is their lack of knowledge. Maybe that's a better term in why media is so important. So, can you just tell us in a nutshell why we should care about the media aspects for our business?
Yeah, I mean, it's people are afraid of having, their stuff photographed, videoed. I think media is obviously a central part of any type of promotion and marketing that's happening right now with any product or business or service that's being offered. Um, I always say the number one thing is to put on your website is a professional headshot. That's where you should start. Because if you're not investing in just showcasing yourself professionally, your potential clients will look at that and say, why aren't they doing that? Are they not confident in what they're offering or out right now? Why aren't they showcasing themselves in a manner that makes me take them seriously? I think investing in proper photography, video, podcast, or any type of media, website design is extremely important to just take what you've already cultivated as a brand, as a product, as a service, and making it something that just speaks to a level of excellence that consumers are already um, uh, conditioned to see when they're shopping with people.
Right. I often hear, particularly women, because as you know, I work a lot with women, but particularly women will say, "Oh, I'm going to wait until I lose weight," or "Oh, I'm going to, not right now." There's always an excuse, and a lot of it has to do with age and body image, right? And really believing that they're the face of their business. So how do I work with people? What do I need to say to them to really help them understand the value of them having professional headshots?
Yeah, so I know a professional headshot is a very nerve-wracking thing, and that's why I do this. It's my favorite thing to work with people who don't like getting their photos taken because when you work with me, it's a live experience. You're seeing the headshot happen live on a big screen. You can see how amazing you look. And then when they leave the studio that day, the best thing I can get as a reward is a high five saying, "Thank you so much. You made me feel confident and amazing." And that's what I want them to take on with their business, right? Is to feel confident, amazing to showcase it. It's scary to put yourself out there like that, but at the end of the day, if you're working with the right people, they're gonna make you feel like $1 million when you're getting your headshot taken and to just feel successful and ready to go. It's a stressful thing, but everyone's human, and I think that's a superpower that I try to help work with business owners is like you're human, they're human, and they want to know that you're human and relatable too. And once you hit that point, getting your headshot taken isn't all that scary after that.
How often should you do new headshots?
There's a bunch of things people say like every few years. I would say like every year or every 2 years, probably every year though, just so you can stay up to date because things change so quickly. The world changes so fast. Your, vision of who you are and what you stand for can change. And I think when you find a person to work with to take your headshot, definitely make sure that you're coming away with more than one headshot, minimum two. Like that way you can have a seasonality to them. You can use one for the first half of the year, then you can switch it up and use it for the second half of the year, the other version, and then use the other photo that you're not using for main stuff or the other small stuff. Like there's some tactics to it and some strategy to it. But I'm other people would say otherwise, and they'd say get a whole gamut of photos or wait every 5 years. I would say just every year, just try to get some really nice ones done and just because again you're investing in yourself, and when you invest in yourself you feel better about what you're giving out. So just make sure you're fulfilling yourself for your clients.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I know as you do, we do a lot of networking, right? And
Hmm.
it's really annoying when you go into a place looking for somebody and you realize that they're like 20 years older than their picture, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, where did that
Yeah.
person go? Right? We need to stay on top. And I'm
Yeah.
exaggerating that a little bit, but we need to stay on top of our headshots. There is something to be said about having a fresh look, a new look. Styles change. And
Yeah.
so you don't want your pictures to look dated. And so you just really want to be able to bring something fresh and new. And if you're not, you don't have to buy. And this is what I work a lot with speakers.
Hmm.
And I say to them, I need one good headshot.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to go buy 500 or even 50. I just need one good one that we can use. And then in 6 months to a year, get another set. And then you've got more and you just kind of build on what you have. So
Yeah.
I think that's helpful. The other thing is, I hear a lot is that, well, I'm not the face of my
Hmm.
brand because, and I get this a lot from the nonprofits I work with. the face of the brand are the people we serve.
Mm, yeah.
Right. And while that's important and you need to have, that indicated on your website, I still want to know who's behind it.
1,000%.
Right.
As soon as I come across a new business, and I mean, obviously, because I'm in the field or whatever, I'm going to someone's website. I'm going to the About Me page, and I'm trying to see who's working for them, how many people are part of the team, how much they are investing in their team members. Like the coolest thing is seeing like a company being like, "Hey, we're investing in professional headshots for our team members." That shows that they care, right? Because they want those people growing with the company and being a face of it, and they trust them. And I think that's super important.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, and I would recommend to everybody that has employees, you should invest in them having professional headshots because whether it's on LinkedIn, that they're on there on LinkedIn and they say they work for you and they,
Yep.
are not representing well, you want to make sure that they're representing your organization the best that they can. And
Yeah.
professional headshots will give you that. I think it's critical, especially in this visual world we live in. That's
And
what I'm finding.
yeah, I mean, our generation is all visual. Everything is visual. I mean, your phone is a 24/7 television in your hand, and you're on all these different apps, and everything is a split second, and it needs to look really good, and it needs to be engaging, and it's exhausting after a while. But you want to be inundated with that experience to your clients because you want to be in front of their faces. You want to offer the opportunity to serve them. And I think it's important that you recognize media is like the number one category outside of, I guess, just the marketing aspect of it, that you need to
Mhm.
be, you know, really well defined on what you're capturing for yourself and showcasing.
So before we move into videography, I
Hmm.
want to ask this question. So, because we live in such a social world
Hmm.
where social media is where everybody posts everything,
Yeah.
how do you manage a professional image on an Instagram and you want it to look professional, but you also want the personal aspects and how do you capture that when you don't have a photographer with you all the time?
Um, I would say from the jump, whatever your business is, you got to start, slow and work your way up. Start with the groundwork of what's your business plan, what's the website going to look like, what are your schemes and colors and branding choices. Then hire or look for a local commercial photographer. I mean, there's differences between, a local photographer, family photographer. Everybody has their own niche and understanding of things, but maybe look for a more specific niche, commercial photographer to help be a catalyst for you to capture your brand in its right light. I think that's very important. Create your personalized stock images for your website and then just take it to the next step and go towards video and things like that. But I think it's like baby steps and building it up like kind of like a ladder. Um, but finding a commercial photographer is very, important because especially if they're local, you can have conversations with them. And a lot of people I've talked to in the past, business owners, have really respected that I'm local, we have conversations, I understand their message, I understand their audience, and I can help capture and showcase it in a light that someone from, an online service or some other place they couldn't because they didn't put the effort into it.
Right.
And again, and that's just about the humanity of the beast there, just
Mhm.
creating a business relationship with these people. So, because like after a while, right? I don't want you to not hire me again or hire another commercial photographer.
Right.
You should update it every year as well because your business should be growing at that point. And you want to highlight all the cool things that are happening and evolving. So continue to capture that with the people that you trust.
Yeah, I love that. You said something really key. What I heard you say is that when you're working with like a commercial photographer,
Hmm.
they continue to know what is new, what's edgy, what's working, what's not. And so they're able to capture that for your specific business. And the more you work with somebody, the more they understand you, the more they know your heart. They really see what you're trying to build, and so they can
Yeah.
help you tell the story of
Yeah.
your business. And one thing I'll say, Doug has provided different presentations, as I said, to some of the groups that I work with, and he does a holistic package. So he
Hmm.
doesn't just say, come in and I'll do headshots. He says, let's have a conversation. What are you looking for? How are you wanting to do it? What are you trying to capture through your photos that you want people to understand? And I think sometimes we think, like, what does that mean? Like, I'm taking a picture, but it's more than taking a picture. You
Yeah.
are now capturing a feeling. You're looking at a story. You will begin to tell a story through your media. And I think
Yeah.
it's really important to work with somebody that can help you build that
Well,
as you.
there's yeah, there's very much so much strategy behind it, and no, really nobody understands it unless they're in the corporate world. That like photography isn't just show up and start photographing a bunch of stuff. A proper commercial photographer want to sit down with the client, build out understanding of where are these images going to be used. Are they going to be used in a drop down menu for an order of a product, or are they going to be on the banner image and things like that? It's very in depth because it's your business, and we want to make sure that we have a plan when we're capturing and then marketing your business.
Right. Yeah, there's so many pieces to it. And that's why
Hmm.
it's important to hire a professional to help you through that process. So I know you and I have talked a lot about the videography piece.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, this is one of the areas that I struggle most with in my business, but also in capturing content for conferences that I do,
Yeah.
speaking engagements, things like that. I find it really difficult. And it could be me, right? I could be the problem. That's very real. I probably am that one going, wait a minute, why do I need to have so much video out there? But
Hmm.
talk to us a little bit about the importance of videography and how you can use it to build content.
Yeah, yeah, of course. So I would definitely always say that I'm a commercial photographer first. That's like my expertise. That's what I love to do. I do video as a strategy as well and podcast producing. And it's kind of a culmination, as you said, it's a holistic approach that we have with our clients. We like to discuss like what their needs are. And I always start the conversation with, hey, this is, if they're looking for a commercial, right? It's why are you looking for a commercial? What do you have now in place? Where do you exist? What other video content do you have? Or do you even have photography that's already promoting you? Like, there's definitely steps to being like, okay, let's start here first and work our way slowly to these things. And then you can have that as a huge portfolio and brand awareness for your business. Um, Video, when do you need it and things like that? And how much do you need, right? It's strategic again. You can have behind the scenes videos that people can relate to on an easy, digestible basis. That's just marketing the experience and the expertise of what you're providing. And then there's the more tailored short promo commercials that are maybe you're selling just a product or something, and or it's the holiday season and you're marketing that. Or then there's the big form commercials that are going to go on, ads out there, TV and things like that. It's about what's digestible to you at that time, because videos are overwhelming. Because as soon as you come to that conclusion, you're like, hey, I want a full commercial. We're gonna send a huge list of like, "Hey, here's the who, what, where, why, here's the projected budget." And then, you're like, "Ooh, maybe that's not what I need right now." And that's why consultations are hugely important. If
Mhm.
you're looking to have video taken, I would have consultations with multiple people and see who comes to you with realistic strategies of, hey, we like your idea here. We can get there, but maybe we don't want to like scare your audience and be like, oh, they went from 0 to 1 million all of a sudden. Let's slowly work our way with a little bit of snackable, digestible videos that are really polished, building your brand and campaign awareness, and then we can get to the big one. And then we're all happy with what we've created and like sharing and like executing and sales wise and things like that.
Right. So
Mm,
how do you, as a solopreneur, entrepreneur,
yeah.
somebody that's starting out, maybe 1 to 2 years in, they say, I really would like some quality videos, but I just need content right now. I've got to get on
Mhm.
TikTok. I've got to get on, Instagram Reels. What would you recommend for them that maybe they could do themselves to start?
I would I would tell them to buy a small camera. It's a DJI Osmos Pocket 3. It's a very tiny handheld thing, and it has the best quality handheld camera you can get. That's not obviously the big stuff. And just think about what you want to post, think about what you want to video, and who you're selling that to or selling that content to.
Mhm.
Um, say you're selling like trinkets at like a gift shop or something. Do very short shorts, like, but make it look good. Like just slow-mo quality of a product and video it because people want to see that. And then it's the holiday season, people are gonna want to go shopping and check it out in person. Snackable stuff is like the best, but just make sure the quality of the video and the audio, the music, it's still a story being told, no matter how long the video is. And it's then having a call to action. It's like, "Come shop today," or, you know 30% off this weekend. Like, make sure there's always a call to action, but it's, easily put together at home. Yeah, I mean, I think Canva does, like, the video editing stuff too, like, you can do all that stuff there. Um, but just be intentional. I think that's probably the main, thing I would say, just be intentional with the video that you wanna make, even if it's a long, I mean, short series of things.
Okay. That's interesting. So, I think that sometimes we we don't realize that when we're posting on social media, we're
Mhm.
competing with the big fish in the pond, right? Like
Yeah.
while we're solopreneurs and we're entrepreneurs, we're also coming up against people that have millions of dollars to spend in
Mhm.
advertising, and they're polishing their stuff and they're getting out there. And I know one of the conversations you and I had was that it's important to have quality stuff out there because that's what people are looking for, even
Right.
from a small business. And
Right.
sometimes
Yeah.
that feels overwhelming.
Mhm. It can, and I think there's a good part of a lot of people in the industry that will say, "Just create it and put it out there, and that's good enough." And, to agree it is because it's getting you off the ledge of, being afraid to take that step and put it out forward. But I still stand behind saying like there has to be a level of excellence that you want to portray or a level of quality that matches everything else that you do in your business, right? So if you're selling like the highest like tier candles in your town that are like, you know, natural and things like that, then the video and the photo and the content that you put out should also equal the excellence of what your products and services are offering.
That's good. That's really
Hmm.
good. I think that sums it up really well that whatever the quality is, your
Hmm.
video, your photos and your videos need to align with this $100 candle you're selling, if
Yeah.
that's the case, right? If you have
Yeah.
a 5 tier something that you're promoting, then it needs to you need to showcase it in a way that it's valued,
Yeah. Now there's
essentially.
definitely space for those, you know, homemade looking behind the scenes stuff, but that needs to coexist with the other versions as well.
That's good. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's really good. So there are things you can do on your own, just kind of showing, behind the scenes, here's what we're doing. I'm sitting here as we're talking, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I could have had a camera up taking
Mhm.
this, where I didn't even think about it. Um, but I could have done that. It wouldn't have been the best quality, but it would
Mm.
have been something. But if I have other things that are high quality, it just shows kind of this is what we're doing behind the scenes, just capturing it
Yeah.
really quickly,
Yep.
whatever. So tell me, Doug, and I know this is a question we've talked about a little bit, but why is it important to hire somebody like you versus just some random person on Fiverr that can do my videos for, $5?
Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely a place for that to still exist, obviously. Like other people, use them as tools to allow themselves
Mhm.
to take some things off their plate, which totally 100% agree with. But if you're looking to maybe just, reach out to a professional that's local and have, real life conversations so they understand who you are. I spoke about it a little bit earlier. I think nothing beats that, because you're building business relationships that you can put, a face to. You can, you guys can go out to dinner, you guys can collaborate and have real conversations of what needs to be done to provide the right thing and have back and forth and just massage that idea until it gets to the right space. Where, going online, it's hard to have such a back and forth and real life conversation. Um, I mean, like if you're doing your own videos, you go ahead, use that to like edit the videos together, totally fine. But if you're looking to have a brand awareness campaign and strategy and, build it to something that's, uh, when you're going to the website and it's that, right? That should be taken care of with a local commercial videographer, photographer, podcast producer to help streamline the brand guidelines and awareness that you're trying to reach. And then when you're doing your own stuff, the little stuff, you can totally use the online people to help out.
Right.
But to jumpstart and really elevate yourself properly, have those conversations with the right people that are here to hear you because that's their business and that's what they want to do.
Right. And I do think there's value in working with individuals that you can really collaborate with, that, because I know for me, I can work anywhere, right? I have clients that
Hmm.
are West Coast, I've got clients on the East Coast, I've got clients in the middle of the country. So for me, I can work anywhere, but there's something to be said when I get to impact local businesses in my community where now we both become a staple
Right.
and we are known then by our communities. And I think it adds value. It brings brand awareness locally to your business. I think there's a lot of benefits. And then you just get to meet really cool entrepreneurs that you can now sit down and collaborate and throw some ideas around and,
Yeah.
really build business together. So I think that is important.
I agree. I mean, what's cooler than that than to just help elevate local businesses to reach new levels? And, those people know other people, and how can they help you and you help them, and vice versa. And the culture that you build within like your town is just, thriving. I think it's again why I like to do the small business stuff. I just love it.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's great. So I know that we're at the half hour, but I want you to quickly tell us
Yeah.
about the podcasting and how that can
Mhm.
support our businesses and when is a good time to start one.
Yeah, I would say after you have all of your ducks in a row with the branding and the elevation and website is like top, like is done, the photography has been done. Maybe you have a little bit of video, but I mean, video and podcasting can probably go hand in hand. And you just want to reach a different audience and maybe say some things that your usual marketing outlets cannot allow you to say, which is very personalized, right? Because then it's you talking, it's you literally talking to your audience, whoever wants to listen. It's hit a variety of things, maybe why you chose why you wanted to make all natural candles, that we keep using that example, or your clients, you would think, just want your products and your services, but you be selling yourself short, not realizing that your clients want to learn more about you, and they want to follow you and see you succeed and follow your success and your journey. And a podcast allows them to get to know you a little more, and then again opens doors to, oh, I love what they said about that. Now I fully even more support them. I will do everything in my mind to get over there and shop for that, or work with them, or hire them to fix my roof or something like that. It's being kind of like, taking them out to coffee every morning and just becoming a friend. And it's a unique form of expression now that I really try to push podcasts for people. It might not be for everybody, but also being on video isn't for everybody. So there's also that. There's different medias that fit different people. So take the route that you feel most comfortable in. You can do a commercial and you could be in it. You could do a podcast and it could be a video podcast. You could do an audio only podcast and nobody ever has to see you. And I hate being on camera because I'm terrible at it. But like, there's medias that fit what I need to do as well.
Right.
Um, there's a lane for everybody, and I think podcasting is a unique one that allows so many other business owners to now find a space to have conversations with the people they want to have conversations with. Um, and then you can connect with sponsors and other businesses, and they can come on your show and help promote. And it's just a cool other like hill to like climb up with everybody. It's cool.
Yeah. I love that. And we've talked a lot about podcasting. I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row because I know there's a lot that I need to do, and the time commitment of carving that out. And when I really, really launch it full steam, I want it to be done well.
Yeah,
And I can't edit the videos. I can't, like, that's why we do lives, because I'm
yeah.
not.
I would also
not
say I would I would also say in that regard, I would highly recommend, if it's not me, is any other podcast producer. If you're looking to start a podcast, you can start one at home, you start one in your basement, but I recommend not doing that, because you want to get away from, the normal life and go to a place that's professional, because then they can help guide you, be more consistent, and help build the show strategy. Again, everything has strategy that you probably think it doesn't need. Like, you can just turn the camera on, start a podcast. You can do that, but if you want to serve your audience and build a following, and sell yourself as high in regards that you are worth, um, you do the due diligence to hire a professional producer to build the show properly, so you have an idea that you're not just winging it, and you're doing it right.
I love that. I never considered that you are producing a show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so the strategy is important. I think it's a great way to engage your audience depending on what you're doing and how you do it. And if you enjoy that, I think it's a great way to collaborate and do different things. So if you're looking for a podcast producer, photographer, videographer, go out, connect with Doug. You're going to love working with him. You're just going to love the energy he brings. You're going to love his approach to business. He's very professional. He knows what he's talking about. He will help walk you through the pieces. And one thing I will say as well, as a small business owner, a lot of times I'm afraid of the cost of items. So therefore, I don't do it because I think I can't afford it. Right. And that
mhm,
could be anything in life. For me, it's during the entrepreneurial journey. Right. But I would say this, at least get a quote, because then
yeah,
you know what you need to budget for. You should be budgeting this whole media component in your business. It
yeah,
it should be
I
a
I
line item in your business. It should be part of your marketing budget. It should be part of your sales strategy and part of your sales budget. So there's places to put this and really begin to build out your plan. That's how you're going to be successful in business. So please, please, please. I know Doug's schedule is busy. He has these ups and flows. So contact him, reach out. He's very responsive. You'll hear back from him right away. And just explore what it could look like. So,
Yeah, it never hurts to have a conversation with any local media person that you're working with, just and hear from every other person. Some people are better fits for other people. Just always hear out and see who aligns with you, and then you can't go wrong. But again, also the budgetary part of it is it doesn't all have to be done at once. And I would highly, highly recommend don't do it all at once. Do it in tiers. Start with the photo, then do the video, and then the podcast, or swap the podcast and video. But photo would be probably the number one thing I think every business should invest in, with a proper commercial photographer. So that way the branding is just so clean and elevated.
I love that.
Mhm.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Doug. I really
Thank you,
appreciate you
Holly.
being here today. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. And we'll see you next Wednesday on Mind Your Business.
Thanks, Holly.
Thanks.